Welcome to the RJI Futures Lab, where we help you make your organization more innovative. I'm Ruben Stern. This week, connecting with audiences through week-long special coverage and generating revenue on mobile. Multi-part reporting projects on a single topic or theme aren't necessarily new, but a few online newsrooms are adapting the idea to the digital realm. The Futures Lab's Katie Mersman explores how to engage an audience around a focused week of coverage.
For BuzzFeed's Mental Health Week in December, reporters from different beats and teams tied mental health into their usual work so that coverage appeared beyond the health section and across the BuzzFeed website and social channels.
We had the dating team talk about what it's like to date, while struggling with mental illness. We did stuff with books to read.
And other BuzzFeed reporters fit mental health stories into coverage of topics like TV and celebrities. One of the most popular pieces of content was a video about a man who survived a suicide attempt. The online outlet Motherboard focuses on science and technology and has been hosting similar themed topic weeks for almost a year. Editors ask their reporters to tie their usual beats into each theme.
We try to ask the staff writers to find a story that fits into both their beat and the theme, which is another way to get fresh stories around a topic. If you're like a hacking reporter and then you're asked to do something about sleep, how do you combine those two?
Both BuzzFeed and Motherboard put point people in charge of organizing and managing the content, working far in advance.
We started with just planning them immediately, 1 month ahead. Then we started going a couple months ahead. We just plotted out all the weeks until November. So we're trying to get way ahead of it so that we have plenty of time to get guest editors and figure out, adjacent projects.
We had about 6 weeks prep time. A lot of it happened real time in that week. But the bigger stories, the news stories, the videos obviously, which had to be, edited and produced in time, were done ahead of time. And that really facilitated just promoting strategically. We had these, docs with these ideas, these spreadsheets, kind of making sure these point people were looking at each idea and looking for redundancies, looking for possible collaboration.
Collaboration was key for Motherboard, too.
We have a great design department here, and we've also been working with some freelancers, freelance illustrators who are really amazing. So having that art to tie it together is helpful. We have a landing page for each theme. And so we're able to push that out on socials and through our newsletter and through other channels.
At BuzzFeed, graphics and social media played a crucial role.
We changed avatars on our social networks. The health Facebook page was completely run with just mental health content. We had a lot of original comics, graphics. So we did those on Instagram.
For BuzzFeed, gauging the outcome of the Mental Health Week wasn't necessarily about analytics, but focusing on the audience's reaction.
So we did have a hashtag that was really active, and that was cool to see people going. It got to the point where people were using it and not even realizing that it was attached to BuzzFeed anymore. The writers who wrote their stories, inboxes were flooded. All of our social channels, our Facebook pages were flooded with messages. People were really appreciative.
Along with having the stories appear in their usual places across the sites, both outlets made it easy for the audience to find all the content at once. For Motherboard, that meant creating a landing page for each theme, while BuzzFeed used a keyword tag that users could click to find all the related stories. For the Futures Lab, this is Katie Mersman.
When it comes to selecting topics, Jeffrey says the key is to pick something not too broad and that people will want to spend a whole week talking about. Along with this video, you'll find links to some of the projects mentioned in our report. It's clear audiences have migrated toward mobile, but it's less clear how to develop revenue streams to follow them. We spoke with the Director of Research for the Reuters Institute at the University of Oxford to learn how some news organizations are generating income from their mobile efforts.
Rasmus Claes Nielsen says the first thing to succeed with mobile is to make sure the content is actually optimized for a mobile audience.
The basic approach for most media organizations today is essentially that they have a mobile optimized website and then they have an app. And the content on those two normally come through the same content management system. There are some interesting examples in India of companies like The Quint that are about trying to optimize the user experience around building a technology that has faster load times, high degrees of personalization, and are not encumbered by too much sort of 1990s and early 2000s technology in terms of content management systems and advertising technology.
He says the audience will appreciate this because it's not old desktop content being shoved onto a smaller screen. Getting people to rely on you and keep coming back has helped some publications succeed with digital subscriptions.
This could be the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, or because they really own a niche, which could be a local monopoly newspaper. I think we should be optimistic in the sense that more people have chosen to pay than many predicted. Many predicted that paywalls would never work.
Native advertising and sponsored content are another option that has potential on mobile, so long as it doesn't confuse the audience.
It has to be very, very clear to them what is what. And the danger when that's not clear is that people will blame the news organization rather than the advertiser for the deception. You really do not want to deceive your audience. I cannot repeat this enough. You do not want to try to cheat the people with whom you want to build a relationship of trust and confidence on which you can build your business.
Charging for individual stories never really took off, but micropayments might become more feasible on mobile given the example of Dutch platform Blindel.
I think this is more interesting because you can get sort of more attractive value proposition if you have a well-designed interface, you have lots of different publishers contributing with good content, and you have one pay system so you don't have to sort of have a login and a subscription to 10 different sites to get the stuff that you want.
Nielsen says more than half of news organizations' audiences are mobile, so it's up to news organizations to meet where their consumers are. For the Futures Lab, this is Berkeley Lovelace.
And that's it for this report from the RGI Futures Lab. I'm Ruben Stern. We'll see you in the future.